Hi, everyone. This is our self-awareness exercise or activity for the week of March 31st. And I think it's beautifully appropriate, as I always do. The contemplation card is can't and won't. Okay? Can't is the language of a child. It suggests inability and powerlessness. Won't is the language of an adult. It suggests choice and therefore power. It's the ability to choose which gives us the power to deliberately create our lives. Okay. So let's look at that for a second. This is, to me, asking us to consider, where do we feel disempowered in our lives? And can we connect it to the idea of having told yourself, I can't, or having been told you can't? And what happens when you change it to I won't? And I think one of the biggest moments in my life was when I found myself about to make an excuse about why I couldn't do something. I can't because, and I suddenly changed it into I can't because I don't want to. And all of a sudden now, everything changes. As soon as you turn it into a I don't want to, as opposed to I can't, you have made a conscious choice. And you have not only made a conscious choice, but you have had the courage to express it. And now you stand by it, right? The energy you're being asked to embrace this week is fierceness. But listen to how it's described. This is a quality of intensity and passion. There's a sense of being powerful in our ability to do things, stand for things we believe in. This is not about aggression and violence, but rather one of passionate confidence and assertiveness. So what do I like about that? Well, pretty much everything. Because if we're going to be looking at this as an energy we're being asked to embrace, it goes along very well with the idea of empowerment. It's telling you, be fierce. Stand for what you believe in. It's not about I can't because, it's I don't want to because. Okay? Now, the interesting thing is, we got the same card. Now keep in mind, I do shuffle, and look at how big this pack of cards is here that I pulled from. And we get word fast again, which is telling us, today you're on a word fast. Make the agreement that just for this day, half day, hour, whatever you choose to refrain from using these words in thoughts or speech. And you see the list. Can't, should, if only, impossible, but, however, interesting, it starts off with can't. Limitation, try, doubt, ought to, difficult, stretch. And any words that put you or anyone else in a category, words that measure or evaluate, good or bad, words that judge, label, condemn, or criticize. But then you also get positive triggers, because that came out as well. That's telling you basically keep your energy up by surrounding yourself with the things that support a positive sense of self-esteem, of well-being, and it can be in the form of literature, books, movies, colors that you like, clothes that you like, anything that lifts that and supports that. So now I'm looking at this and I'm going, well, okay, the word fast last week, I would have taken it to be very much about how the world was affecting us and what we were seeing in the world around us. But I look at this and I go, no, I think this week, the way I'm going to interpret this is, if I'm looking at can't and won't as being the thing I'm asked to consider, I really look at that as empowerment and disempowerment. So I am now going to fiercely stand for my empowerment. And I am going to watch any words or thoughts that I use that disempower me, that are, and especially if they're habits or repeated things that we say, anything that is self-deprecating humor, anything that is a put down or something that is disempowering in any way, I'm going to look at it and I'm going to say, that's how I'm going to interpret this card this week for me. And then how do I maintain that sense of empowerment, especially if I find these words slipping in? I'm going to stop and I'm going to say, okay, now, positive triggers, because that's a down energy. And I'm going to speak, because positive triggers can also be words that you say about yourself too. I'm going to use that. Okay? So that's it for this week. Can't and won't, fierceness, word fast, and positive triggers. You've got pictures of all of them. You can screenshot them and keep them with you if you want. And I'll be back next week. Have fun with this. I think this is a really good time to start really leaning into a sense of personal power. And I think it's really important to do that, because that's when we can stand for what we believe in. And it's really important now that we do, in all the different ways that we do it. Okay? Take care. Have fun. I'll be back. I think. You never know, but I plan on it. Take care.